Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Welcome to Friday's earwax removal. It is Friday, guys. So you can see in this particular patient's ear canal, we've got this really kind of sticky, squishy, it looks a bit like kind of crystallized honey, this stuff. So it's really kind of granular when you take this wax away. It's kind of the suction tube's nemesis, this kind of wax. It really blocks the suction tube up really easily. You can, as you go in, you'll take a little chunk out of it and it'll block the suction, and then you got to flush it and go back in. So it's not the easiest thing. And you can see it just moves a bit like a kind of like a plasticine-y kind of texture. So when you're kind of moving it, you're just pushing it from place to place. I put a little bit of olive oil in here. Sometimes that does make the difference, and it will come out a little bit more easily and get sucked into the machine. But you can see it's not really kind of doing anything. It's just sort of sitting there. Now this particular patient, sorry Rhys, she knows, this particular patient comes through, I would say probably about every 12 to 18 months. You get the ears cleaned out. So I do know this kind of wax. They produce this type of wax all the time. So which is a nice thing when you get someone that comes through on a regular basis. You get to know their ears and the wax and the techniques that work best to get this out. So I'm really trying to detach this sticky wax from the bottom. I'm giving it everything here to try and get this off, but it is just not budging. So I'm going to switch tools. Now, if you haven't seen this one before, it's very bright. If you haven't seen this one before, this is called a Serra spoon. So basically what this is, it looks exactly like a teaspoon. And you pop that into, obviously a lot smaller. You pop that into the ear, and it's great for this kind of sticky, thick wax. It works more like a scoop. So imagine it like a melon bowl or an ice cream scoop, scooping this wax away. And it just takes this out in much, much bigger pieces. This is actually made by a company called Bionics. They do lots of these different things. When you use tools like this, manual tools to get this out, this is called curettage. So basically, they provide lots of different types of tool. My only, I do like this tool. There's only a very sort of niche kind of patients that this will work well with. You've got to have really wide ear canals, and you've got to have a good view. And but it's the color. It's so bright when you, which I've got nothing against the colour yellow, but when you look in there with an endoscope, you're shining a very bright light in, so to illuminate the area you're working in. When you've got something bright yellow in there, the glare off this thing is incredible, which is why it's only good for kind of outer parts of the ear canal. I wouldn't really want to go too deep in. You can see here where we've taken this big scoop. It's got this sort of really tacky, sticky wax out first, but be no good for this deeper section here for a couple of reasons, really. The first is it's so big that you'd struggle to get over the top of this bit of wax. The other thing is, in order to be able to get this out, you've literally got to scoop. Well, this is going to be resting almost pretty much on top of the eardrum. So you scoop down on that. You're going to scrape that leading edge down the eardrum, which is going to be really, really painful. Now, what I know from this particular patient, it's a bit of insider knowledge for this particular ear canal, is that they tend to have this really hard piece of wax at the back end of all the soft stuff, which is what I'm working on here, which is great for suction. So we'll pop a little bit of olive oil in here because we've got this really hard bit of wax with this sticky layer underneath. I'm trying to roll this down. You can see I'm making these short movements, kind of forwards and across at the same time. Diagonal movements, I suppose you call them. So you're kind of diagonally jutting this down the canal. What I'm doing is I'm shifting this wax in kind of stages all the way down. The ideal way to do this now is if we can flick this top bit over, then it's going to have this really hard section that we can just grab hold of with the suction tube and pop that out really easily. You can see how it's coming away. You see the consistency's changed. Whereas before, when we were pulling on that, it was just kind of squidging it and moving it down like this. But when you've got a hard piece like this, it comes away really, really well. There is a second patient in this compilation, I think, which is just a very quick one I did as well. So I tagged on the end of this one as well. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Now you can see we've got this kind of mushy layer now. Very, very deep in here as well. You can see a little bit of pinkness, a little bit of aggravation to the ear canals there. Patient hadn't really reported any discomfort, but I think you do see this a lot with patients when they're blocked up. They get a little bit desperate and things start getting popped in ears and wiggled around. So we will get a little bit of irritation formed there. There we are, it's on its way now. Oh guys, if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to click the subscribe button, hit the little bell thingy. You're going to get a notification every single time we post a video there if you do enjoy these videos. You can also give us a thumbs up. Share if you dare. There you go. So out that's come now. It's really got stuck. on the outer part of the ear canal here. That really tacky type wax is all sticking to the little cilia on the way out here, really holding on tight. Here we are, so I nipped over the top there with the suction tube, use the side of the suction tube to roll forwards, and out that comes. There we go. Let's take a look behind that. Oh, a little bit more. That looks pretty mobile, that piece though. I think that's gonna, yeah, it jumped straight to the suction tube. It wanted to come out that bit. It just leapt onto the suction tube as we went in there. So that's come away really nicely as well. And a little bit of dry skin here. We'll just nip that away. It's a mixture, I think, of a little tiny bit of dry skin and some squishy wax and sticky wax there. Oh, that's definitely dry skin. That's peeling away. Let's nip all that out. There we go, brilliant. And that eardrum's looking good, lovely and clear. You can see really well down in there now. Oh, obviously didn't like leaving one little bit behind. Which bit am I aiming for here? Oh, there we are, right, yeah, I went back in. I forgot, I did this morning and I forgot, I've forgotten already what I did on this one. But it's coming away really well. Oh, a little bit there to the left hand, no, to your right hand side. There we are, eardrum. Yeah, I mean, it's shiny. You can see there was a little bit of kind of, it didn't look 100%, no, a little bit of dullness there. 7/8 of an inch, 2.5 centimeters there, guys. So a fair amount. You can see the consistency of that, this kind of squishy, soft type wax. So I think we go from this particular patient now with this very soft wax, I think we go to a harder wax plug, I think, on this one now. Yeah, there we go. So lots of hair. It's like a little teeny jungle in there. Lots of very thick, dense cilia on the outer part of the ear canal. It does happen to us as we get a little bit older. We tend to find these bits and hairs start sprouting out at all places. You don't want hairs to sprout out. And then as you start to pull this down, it's dried onto these little hairs. It's kind of hanging on for dear life in there. So we've got the Jobson horn in here now. Great for these kind of hard wax plugs. Let's pop these over the top. Oh, took a little bit off there. We've just got this darker material. Let's get behind, scooch him forwards. There we go, roll it. Look at all those little hairs embedded. It looks like a little tiny hedgehog. Loads of hairs all embedded in there as well. Out that comes. Quite dark in color. It's quite hard actually. It was a pretty solid piece. I couldn't pick it up with a Jobson horn. So we've had to go in there with a suction tube just to lift that up. There we go. And let's take a look behind that. You can see those little hairs. Squeaky clean. Squeaky. That little line you can see is one of those cilia. So 1 centimeter across there, 1/2 inch that one. That's a quick and easy one to finish the video on today. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing it over. It's nice to see a couple of different ones sometimes. I shall see you again as long as we don't have another power cut on Monday. So as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. Have a fab weekend. Go enjoy yourself. Do something nice on the weekend. I'll see you again on Monday. Bye, everyone.